And so, yes, it's probably giving me that time back, but that actually then, for me, enables me to be more creative because the words and the instructions and that's the boring bit.
Hi everyone, I'm Nicola and I work for the product marketing department at TOPdesk. We recently released some really cool AI features, and today we are talking to Andrew, who works at the London South Bank University, who recently took the plunge and started using them. And we are going to discuss their experiences today. So, can you give us a short introduction of the LSBU? I think it stands for London South Bank University. Is that correct?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
LSBU is London South Bank
Yeah.
University, but we're actually more than just a university. We're a group. We train something like 25% of the nurses in London. We have a very good record in terms of starting salaries for all of our graduates. And we cover the gamut from things like nursing to engineering to building to business to IT across the whole group.
And what is your role at the LSBU?
So I have the glorious job title of IT Senior Service Management Analyst. And nobody ever knows what I do who works outside of IT because nobody knows what service management is. So I essentially I say that I work in customer service. I'm the non-techie in an IT department of nearly 50 people, and I look after on a day-to-day basis. I look after the communications that come out of IT. So I tend to take what a techie has given me and make it more palatable for a non-technical audience. I write all the content for our intranet site, but also the bulk of my job is to be the TOPdesk application manager.
Last year, there was a point that, of course, we released some AI features. I was just wondering, was there a point that led up to that you think, oh, this is interesting because we've been using TOPdesk for quite a while now. Was there anything that led you to any frustrations or anything that oh, I'm going to try to use some of these AI features to better our lives somehow?
To be honest, it was a game changer for me to kind of see this stuff, because you really never know until you dig into the ticket what the exact issue is about, because the end user is giving you the information as they see it. There may have been lots of conversations going to and fro. Some resolution may have been given. But if that hasn't worked, you'd have to go through the entire ticket to work out what the next step is likely to be. With the AI summarize, you've almost got that information at the click of a button.
The summarization isn't the only AI feature you use, right? You also use the knowledge item, was it generation feature?
Yes, I have always disliked, hate is a strong word, I've always disliked the create a knowledge item from a ticket, the way it worked. And so you ended up having to write the knowledge item from scratch anyway. The new AA version is leaps and bounds ahead of the old version. It is so easy to use. It's so clear. I know my colleagues in HR who use knowledge management have said, this is just so quick now that we don't even think about it. We don't worry about having to, I've got to go in and create a KI, because they're just doing it with a couple of clicks of the button. And pretty much the results are I would say 90 to 95% accurate. It's very, very easy, very quick, very clear. And I guess what that's done is it's actually given me more time to actually start really thinking about how we're using the tool, how we move it forward.
Yeah.
We were invited to be part of the beta testing, and we without hesitation agreed to do that. And I think it's because certainly those of us who work in the frontline service can see the value of AI in terms of the communication aspect of things. We literally enabled it and had a play for about 2 weeks, I think it was. It was so easy. I can't remember how I did it. It was. I think it was a flick of a button. I think that was pretty much it.
Was there anything that beforehand you were slightly, I don't know, anxious about, worried about with onboarding AI? I mean, you know, data-wise or privacy-wise? Or were there things that, yeah, held you back
It's
slightly,
it's
or
the
other people in
it's the
your
first thing we
company?
thought of. Yeah, absolutely. The first
Yeah.
thing we thought of was, what is TOPdesk doing with our data? And I think our fears were alleviated quite early on. TOPdesk were very clear on how the data was going to be used and where it was going, and so absolutely, there's no issue with that now.
If you were going to talk to other organizations, TOPdesk customers who maybe want to try AI but are a little bit hesitant in using or starting with these sort of features, is there anything that you could advise them or tell them?
The thing we want to do when we're using this type of tool, and it doesn't have to be TOPdesk, it can be any of these types of service management tools, is we want to have a consistent approach. We want to get the best result as quickly as we can. And if AI can support that, and you're not using it, I don't understand why. It's to me, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, well, I want to thank you very much for this lovely chat that we had, and
Thank you very
enjoy the
much. Great to meet
enjoy.
you.
Thank you. Yeah, very nice to meet you, and enjoy the rest of your day, and speak to you soon.
Lovely. Thank you.